about that, or how do you feel about on the whole abortion thing?
It's killing a baby.
Yeah, and do you feel that way about even if they take that morning after pill? What do you think about that? You think that's different? I personally think it's the same thing, cause you killing what just came together. You're killing it. To me, it's the same thing. But what's y'all view on that? Because once the connection is made, you can't do it.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it's not effective.
Yeah, that's what it said. It said once it's conceived, then it won't hurt the fetus. But I don't know. Now research is showing that they changed it.
Yes, it's like it's more developed nowadays because like years ago that's how it worked. It wouldn't allow for the connection. And in my opinion, that's almost like birth control. It's like a rapid version of birth control. Yeah. Whereas birth control, doesn't allow for that connection, at any time. This one, if there's a chance for it, it would eliminate the sperm basically. No. To keep, so that it never have a chance, But like I say, now it's kind of saying like now, at its earliest stages, it could disconnect the.
It would be. But we have to I think we have to be careful as a Christian ministry because some Christians believe that birth control is okay and some don't. Like the Catholics believe that it's not okay. Mm-hmm. As the church, but some, and I think we have to stay away from.
I don't even know how to. Or we need to tackle it because it's healthy to get the conversation.
It's hard because some people it's hard because some people even believe that condoms are wrong.
Yeah, they really do. Like me and my husband contradict ourselves because we believe in condoms, but we don't believe in birth control.
It becomes that whenever they have to have something. Like as far as they have to have some type of fit. It has to be physical. They have to have I need women to have big booty. If they ain't got no big booty, they can't be my wife.
Or
that is a lustful situation.
As eyes. Like they have to have green eyes. That's
too specific.
I think
it's too specific because you cannot find your actual mate. Like what if your mate had brown eyes?
Yeah.
And that's the person that God specifically made for you. But he's giving you the free will to find it. And it's like because she has brown eyes, you connected, y'all friends. But she gets put in the friend pile because she don't have green eyes. But this chick over here got green eyes. She might not even be as attractive as the one with brown eyes. But because she got green eyes, this is gonna be my woman. And then now you're putting yourself on the path to destruction.
And not the girl with the big old booty and the green eyes. Like, even the one for you.
When it becomes lust, then that's when I agree that begins to be a problem. Because if you lust after anything, that can tend to be a problem. Like even in the Bible, it says about lusting after people is wrong or whatever. So even if it's your husband or your wife, if all I'm thinking is sex, and my husband could be trying to study the Bible, and I got sex on the brain. If I lure that man or seduce that man, you know what I mean? Because I know what he like. If I go and do that, that's when it becomes a problem.
And then you shut him down.
That's when it's a lustful.
If that happens, I think a lot of us wouldn't be couples.
You know what I'm saying?
But also that exists in a lot of couples though, because they have that preference and it was so strong. But you met someone who emotionally it was stronger. Yeah. But then when you get with that person physically, they don't have what you're attracted to. Not that you're not attracted to them, but they don't have that thing that clicks for you. So that's something that will always have to be watched, throughout your marriage. But that's a choice that's made. Like you're saying, if big booty, big breast was a thing, and I didn't feel like my spouse or whoever I was with had that, then for the whole time that we're together, that would be a thing. I would still be attracted to her. I think to go on the soulmate thing, it makes sense because if God necessarily had somebody that you were just supposed to be with, you wouldn't have to make the promise to be with them because that's your person.
So what y'all saying is that y'all do believe that God already knows who it is that you're going to marry and that He do allow your souls to meet each other, but you don't believe that there's a such thing called soul mate.
Right. Because if it was, then you would always be with each other even when you got in heaven because your soul goes to heaven. Not your body, your soul goes to heaven. So that means if you a soulmate, that means when you go to heaven, y'all gonna be clicked up. You know what I'm saying? But from the understanding of the Bible, you're not gonna be clicked up. You're gonna be familiar with each other, like you said, but you're not gonna be like.
Right.
Because in the Bible it says that each one of us is going to have our own mansion.
Well, so then why is this happening? Is all these people not finding their soulmate? Is all these people not? How would they not being able to find the one that God picked for them?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what my opinion is. God gave us free will to choose who we're going to marry. Yes, He knew we were going to marry. Like He knew I was going to marry you, but He gave us that. He gave us that choice. Back to being saved too. He didn't pair us.
So basically, what's being put out there is. God might make someone just for you, specifically for you, but you can choose whether or not to be with them.
Exactly.
Ow!
That's the same thing. That's the same thing with God. Like he said, at the end of the day, with God doesn't just want to make you want Him. He wants you to want Him. He wants you to want Him because when you want somebody, you want it, Aaron, and you made sure you never know. And that's what God wants you to do.
In the gospel where Jesus was walking with the disciples and the Samaritan woman came, it was yelling, Jesus, can you help me? Can you help me? And He was ignoring her because Jews didn't talk to Samaritans. And His disciples said, Jesus, make her go away, and then scratch and from the table. And he was like, because Jesus wants you to work.
He wants you to work for him
and have faith.
And he was like, because of your response over there.
Work for him.
If I don't decide that I'm going to continue being married to you, I will never work on myself. But whenever I decide, no, we're making this work, then I'll change myself.
Then on top of that,
understands what your insecurity is, because if they quote unquote playing off insecurity,
if we're insecure, and then we use that person as the crutch, like, well, they're the ones that's making me this way. When we're not doing is going to them and telling them, hey, even though that's difficult, but being in a relationship is difficult. That's what's part of it. Doing those difficult things, and that's a failure on you if you refuse to go to them with your insecurities, because basically what you're doing is you're telling yourself, I want to be insecure. That's why you're using them. Instead of going to them and telling them, hey, I'm insecure about my body. I don't feel good when we're intimate. And this is what I feel like you're doing to enable and add to the insecurity. I really need your support on getting me away from this. Now, after you do that, if they continue,
and if it's not a marriage, break it off because they don't love you.
And then on top of that, why do you feel like you have to be in it?
That's the scary part.
That's the big question. That's the biggest part of the question, because
that's all they each other. They move in together. Now, financially, you're dependent on that person. Yeah. Now, when things go sour, you can't just leave because financially you're not able to. Right. So you feel like you have to stay. And that keeps a lot of relationships together, because financially I can't leave you.
And that's why living together before marriage is a physical benefit.
That's why I see the mind is so powerful. That's why in Romans 12:2, God says you have to be not conformed, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your mind is so strong that you can't even, you can't defeat your own mind without the Spirit of God.
And that's the Bible.
Like your mind and the devil work hand in hand. Like most of the time, the devil don't even, the devil is busy. But it's like, no, that was just your mind telling you something. That's why you have to have the Spirit of God, because just like on Facing the Giants, he made you blindfold himself. Because as soon as he hit that 50-yard line, he would look and see it was a 50-yard line, and his mind would automatically tell his body shut down. Right. And he would be like, I can't do no more, coach. And because his mind couldn't see it, he couldn't tell, his mind couldn't tell him that he couldn't go no more. His mind just was like, hey, well, the dude telling you you can keep going, so you must be able to keep going.
And then like I say, as people, we love for things to be give and take. I'm with D, I got lyrics, he got beats, we make music together. It's give and take. But I say sometimes someone's in your life solely to take from you. And you just give to them. And they don't feed you back. Exactly. And sometimes that's how that relationship's supposed to be, because they need you. But, they just solely need you. You have something that they need that they can't provide anything back, but they gotta have it. And that's and God's like,
Jesus gave. That's all he's been doing. He didn't receive anything. Nobody did anything.
The only time he received was whenever he had to receive something. God instructions.
Right, but as far as he was doing something for him, he just gave.
That's why, because we're humans, that's why we have to have that, like you say, you do have those relationships where it's where you're just giving, but you have to have somebody to you.
Talk about loyalty, and going back to Jesus, when Jesus took on the sins of the world, it says even God had to turn his back on Jesus. So when you look at that loyalty, God turned his back on Jesus still coming back to do God's will. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that God wasn't loyal, but saying, God did what he had to do. Sometimes that's how it is. Some people be like, I know this is what you want me to do, and I know this is how you want me to be, but I have stuff that I have to do, and it's not personal, it's just what I have to do, and you have to be all right with that.
Getting a breast job is not wrong. And I only pause because I feel that before, I felt it was completely wrong, because you reconstructed what God already gave you, but then it all depends on your intentions now. My opinion now is I want bigger breasts because I want to attract other men. That could, or even if you're single, that could be a problem. Because you have the wrong mindset.
Well,
it's the mindset, period.
What would be a pure mindset of getting a boob job?
It's not about a purity. We are Christians, y'all, but we're not just spiritual people. We don't all walk around with the Bible all day long. We are human beings at the end of the day. So it's the same thing as going to the dermatologist and getting your acne fixed. Right now, God got you in the stage of pimples. How about you stay there? You know what I mean? So it's like, if you look at it that way.
I have no problem with, because like you said, your back problems, that, like physical issues, what I'm saying?
But they don't hurt my back. I was just trying to get that.
No, I'm going to talk about you personally.
Okay, because I was going to say for my frame. If I get down to a size like whatever, if I went to if I went to like something smaller than me, I don't know how my body's going to change with that. So I may not like the way my breasts look at that stage of my weight. So I might say, this ain't sexy to me.
But if you think about that, if you lose weight, your boobs will go down a size, because basically all it is fat.
But if I don't like that though, and I'm saying if I change it, in my opinion, it's the same thing as going to the dermatologist. It's just something you don't like.
Boob job, I feel personally, is wrong. The only intention you have to get it is because you want to attract somebody or for you to feel sexy. Okay. Now, do you feel feeling sexy is wrong? No, I was into that. Feeling sexy is not wrong. Okay. I feel that you should be able to feel sexy, comfortable, especially for your husband. You know what I'm saying? But why would you?
What about single women though? What about women that haven't gotten with that.
But that's the same. But see, if you're married, I believe getting a boob job. Why would you need to get a boob job? If your husband is pressuring you to get a boob job, that's wrong. Because he should love you the way you are. If you feel like you need to have a boob job, you already got your husband. He already loved your body. Why would you need a boob job? If you're single, then why would you get a boob job to attract other men?
But why would you put on makeup? Why would you do your hair? That's all the things that make us.
But that's not sexual.
I think you look very sexy when you do your hair. Because if it was a sin, I honestly would think it would be in the Bible. Like, don't reconstruct your body. Like, I think that would be.
But it says your body is a temple of God.
But it also tells us about getting ear piercings. It also tells us about coloring our hair. It also tells us about cutting our hair. Yet we do all that.
Yeah, but that's different. Because this is a sex organ.
It does become that sexual tool and stuff like that. So we do have to, deal with it in a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just getting your butt done or getting your legs done or getting your feet done or something like that. It is something different. Women respond to nipple stimulation. It's a sexual, thing, but God made it that way. It's good, but it has to be taken care of in a certain perspective.
That's so cliche to me, because it's like, yes, it is. It can be sexy, but so is touching somebody small of their back. Like, I don't. It's so.
We're not saying that
before we start giving secrets out. I'm gonna go to the next question.
It's not that it's solely sexual, but it does have to be dealt with in a different in a different thing. I think that's a personal thing between you and God.
It really is.
It's something that God has to give you personally, because.
It has a bad intention behind it. Other than that, I just think they do what they gonna do.
Everybody, just like we all get our interpretation, everything's not right for everybody. And maybe if Aaron happened to get a breast job or something like that, that might change something within her spirit and her relationship with God. So it could end up being a sin for her. I could go and get one, and it might not change nothing in me. You know what I mean? And we could have had the same intentions.
All right, so to close this question out, just real easy thing to do. If you struggle with a decision like that, if you're not sure if it's right or wrong, same thing, step away from it until you're sure. He's definitely positive that having tattoos is okay, so he's ready to make that decision. She's positive that having breast reductions or breast implants isn't the right thing to do, so she's not going to do it. If you struggle with that, then just step away from it and wait for God to give you the wisdom to make that decision. I wouldn't just be like, I need you to be doing this at this time, but I can't do that because she's not.
I don't think that it's wrong, but I remember a specific time that I did think that as a Christian, we're not supposed to do that. But
and like y'all were saying, it all depends on if your spouse is comfortable or not. But what you're saying about compromise, I agree to an extent, because especially for women, it's not supposed to just be, okay, all right, this is for my man. No, women are supposed to enjoy sex, intimacy, just as much as men are. It's not. You're not supposed to feel like, oh, okay, this is my wifely duty. No.
Yes.
I feel like she said, you should enjoy it, because nobody wants you just rolling up on there. Yeah. It gets rough. You know what I'm saying? Teeth get involved. All that type of stuff. It's a good question, because it does say obey the laws of man and everything like that in the Bible, and like say in certain states it is a law, which is crazy. But in my personal opinion, in the sight of God and everything like that, I feel like until you sign papers and you stand in front of God, like, hey, this person I'm with,
standing in front of God, and saying that this is my wife, whatever. I feel like you're not really considered married. I feel like you're just together. I mean, no matter what the law says or whatever.
I do suggest, if you are common law married, that you go to church and you get it official. Even though the world says that you're married, you need to go and get it. You need to go and get it approved by God. But
yes, in the beginning, which was basically what I think pretty much us all probably feel, is that if you it's not free will, and that's the best way to put it. It's not free will. The law is saying it. You're not saying that you're married to this person. So technically, no, I don't feel like I don't feel like that's marriage at all. I'm black and white on that.
Because I believe that you need to be married by a pastor or a priest, because it's godly. God created marriage, and these, it's in like the Catholic Church, we believe it's a sacrament because God did make it.
Disclaimer: we are not experts, just giving our opinions. Thank you, and subscribe.